In this screencast, we will see how we can build a progressive web app using the new version 3.3. However, the first thing you need to know is that you should only use this new version 3.3 if you're planning on building a progressive web app. If not, then you can just use version 3.2. Let's start by seeing an example of a progressive web app, which is Flipkart, and you can find the link under the video. As you can see, you can run this app from the desktop, just like you would do with any native application. It can also show an offline experience when the user loses connection, instead of showing the offline dinosaur. And that's how you add it to your home screen. And by the way, this is working right now on Chrome, Firefox, and Opera, and more browsers are coming soon. I'm going to use Chrome Canary because it makes it much easier to debug progressive web apps. However, 2 days ago, Chrome 52 was released, and now you don't need to use Chrome Canary, so you can just use regular Chrome. I installed a new project called blog-pwa, and I open it using Sublime, and I'm just gonna run artisan serve, and then another terminal tab, I'm gonna run gulp and gulp watch, and we can get started. Now let's go into public. We have a new file called manifest.json, and this file allows the browser to understand more your application, especially when it becomes a progressive web app. And then let's go into resources, views, index.blade.php. This is how we're linking to the manifest.json. And let's remember this theme color, we're going to get back to it. And actually there's a generator that will ask you questions and help you generate this manifest.json. So just run artisan pwa manifest and go through the questions. It'll ask you about the language, the name of the app, the short name, display type, and a lot more. The background color is used for the splash screen, and then the theme color is used to style the header of the browser. So for example, I'm going to use this cover image. So I'm going to use an app called Zip to get the main color of this background. And I'm going to use this as my theme color. So now the manifest is generated. Don't forget to update your icon to fit your own brand. And now that's it, that's the new manifest, it's all generated. And now we need to go back into index.blade.php and update the theme color with the new value. Now let's use the new application tab in Chrome DevTools, which will give us a lot of information about the manifest. So you can see the name, short name, start URL, basically everything we specified, you can see it here. Now I'm gonna talk about critical path rendering. And if you notice, when I refresh the page, it loads very quickly. At least something shows up and it tells the user that we are getting your content and we're working on it. So now I refresh the page and then cancel it. And let me show you this intermediary state. So we've got some inline styles. And now let's go to the body. We see we have a nap shell component that has inside of it a header and a content, and inside the header we've got the logo. And the content is just basically this background color that spans all of the screen. And all of these are inlined, and so we're just inlining CSS critical.css in the homepage because we want it to load as fast as possible. So this app shell component that contains a header, logo, and the content will actually get removed when Angular loads on the page. So now if I go to Angular critical.scss, so this is all the critical styles that we have in our project, and the reason why we pre-process it using Sass is because you can still use all the variables just like in any other file. So now I'm gonna replace this main color with the new brand that I chose. And to simulate this critical path rendering, actually, if I just want to show you the first state, I'm gonna comment loading styles and loading JavaScript. And I go back and refresh. And now we get the screen that basically tells the user that the page is loading and we will show you the content as soon as possible. And now I'm going to fix the layout and the design, so I'm going to fast forward all of this. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to generate the post model with the migration. So we basically just need one field for URL and another one for content. And I'm also going to set up the model factory because we want to generate some sample posts. And now if I go to Artisan Tinker, I can just verify that the factory is working by running make. And then we see it's all good, so I'm going to generate 10 posts and save them into the database. Before editing our routes, let's go ahead and create a posts controller. And inside our routes file, we will create a new endpoint with the get that points to /posts and then post controller, then the method is get. Alright, so now inside this method get, we're basically going to grab all the posts and then just return them from the endpoint. Now if I refresh the page and go to the network tab, you can see from the size column that most of our resources, actually all of our resources, are loaded from the service worker, except for the manifest.json, which is loading because we have the Chrome inspect open. So this is what allows the page to be super fast. By the way, it's a bit slow because I'm screencasting, but normally it's much faster. And now you're probably wondering, how does service worker work? And this is a topic for the next video, but I'm just gonna tease you by showing you the service worker precache config file. I'm gonna talk about this in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can follow me on GitHub on this link. Thank you for watching.